Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to mindforcombat. If you're new to this channel, my name's Rohan. It's my platform where I do MMA and boxing related content. If you're new here, why don't you help me to grow my platform? All you got to do is simply hit the subscribe button, like the video, dislike it if you don't like it. Obviously, wait till the end before you decide you don't like it, and then maybe get involved in the conversation in the comment section below. Anyways, with that said, this is a video that I'm really looking forward to make. And the reason I'm really looking forward to it because it's one of my biggest fights I've been looking forward to all year, and that's between Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker as they look to unify the middleweight division. And Robert Whittaker looks to remind everyone just who he is. Coming into this fight, there's a few things that we need to consider. So Robert Whittaker obviously is coming off back-to-back wins over Yoel Romero. Now that's an impressive feat. He's obviously showing the world just how good he is. His last fight with Yoel Romero was close, and loads of people, myself included, had it scored the other way and were giving it to Yoel Romero. So coming into this fight, he's going to kind of want to cement his place as the middleweight champion as he takes on one of the most highly touted prospects or contenders in all of mixed martial arts. As Israel Adesanya is quickly becoming a rising star and shooting right up the ranks in superstardom. He's obviously got the look, he's got the attitude, he's got the fighting style that's very appealing to the masses. And this weird nickname, the last Stylebender, I don't really know what that means. So if you guys know what that means, just comment below. Really, this is a very important fight. And for Robert Whittaker, it's going to be his first fight in more than a year. He hasn't fought since July 2018. And that's kind of crazy when you think about the fact that Israel Adesanya has practically had his entire UFC career post that, you know what I mean? Like his biggest fights have come since then, and he's here coming into this fight, and in a lot of ways, he's coming into it as the favourite. So people have really jumped on the Israel Adesanya bandwagon. Now, I'm not necessarily one of them, but he's a great fighter, very talented, and it's a great stylistic matchup for him. So how does this fight go? How does it play out? Well, let's go through the tape and break it down. Firstly, Robert Whittaker is 28 years old. He's such a young man. He's such a young man coming into this fight. Even with his extended layoff, he comes to this fight only 28 years old, which surprisingly is actually 2 years younger than the challenger, Israel Adesanya. So that's something to consider. Obviously, they're both young. They're both in the prime of their careers. Neither of these gentlemen will be washed up in any way, shape or form. So that's really good coming into this fight. Robert Whittaker has a mixed martial arts record of 20 wins and 4 losses. He's got a long career already, and that includes his time at welterweight where he won the Ultimate Fighter, coming up to middleweight where he's gone undefeated and won a world title, taking out the likes of, well, we'll talk about some of the wins he's had, so let me not get ahead of myself. Israel Adesanya is perfect in his mixed martial arts career. He has a record of 17 wins and no losses. What a beautiful, incredible record that is. Obviously, he hasn't fought the caliber of competition that Robert Whittaker has in mixed martial arts, but just for some context, MMA is not the only realm he's fought professionally in. He's actually competed in kickboxing as well for a long time. And I believe he had a record of 75 wins and 5 losses over in the world of kickboxing. So he's a very experienced fighter. He's had tons of fights. He's also 5-on-1 as a professional boxer. So he's been around for some. Robert Whittaker stands at 6 foot tall, which makes him 4 inches shorter than Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya being a striking expert, and this, in my opinion, will be a striking fight. That does make a difference. The next stat also jumps off at me. Israel Adesanya has an 80-inch reach, which gives him a 6.5-inch reach advantage over Robert Whittaker, who has a 73.5-inch reach. That's a really important stat to remember coming into this fight. I wish I had access to the leg reach because Israel Adesanya is a kicker, as is Robert Whittaker, but that will play out in this fight as well. To describe their styles, yes, they're both striking fighters, but, you know, whilst they share a similarity in that they both like to throw their hands and fists and feet, I would say Israel Adesanya is probably a bit more of a precision striker, whereas Robert Whittaker cracks a little bit harder than Israel Adesanya. I mean, I feel like both their styles are pretty similar, but they've got their differences. I'm really looking forward to this fight. Let's look at some of the key wins. So if we're to do Israel Adesanya first, because the list will be much shorter, his key wins will be guys like Brad Tavares, who he beat in that main event back right after his fight with Marvin Vettori, which was a good win. He beat Derek Brunson. Obviously, Derek Brunson was coming off a loss at the time to Jacare Souza, and there was a little bit of personal animosity there. Derek Brunson's a mainstay in the top 10, so he's not a bad fighter at all. He's beaten Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva obviously was at the time coming off a 2-year layoff, was 45 years old. I expected a bit more from Israel Adesanya, but he does have that win on his record. And he beat Kelvin Gastelum most recently in a back-and-forth war. Robert Whittaker, on the other hand, has got 2 wins over Yoel Romero, which were both incredible. The last win was controversial, but he's got the win, so that's a good win for him. He took out Jacare Souza back when Jacare Souza was in line for a title shot. He also took out Derek Brunson back when Derek Brunson was knocking out everyone and was on a 5-fight win streak. So they've both got some really good wins at middleweight, and they're coming into the fight perfectly, really, if you think about it. For Robert Whittaker, his biggest issue in this fight is going to be his inactivity coming into this fight. He hasn't fought since July last year, and Israel Adesanya has been very active, been fighting very regularly, and excuse me. And obviously, Robert Whittaker is going to need to shake off the rust. He's not getting an opportunity to do that. He's going into a world title unification fight, and how's that going to impact his performance? So that's something to think about. For Israel Adesanya, he comes into this fight, his biggest issue is going to be that it's unproven at the top of the game. Now, the toughest fight he's had is Kelvin Gastelum. Now, granted, Kelvin Gastelum's a top-tier world championship fighter. I don't see him as a true middleweight, though. On that, he just seems like a welterweight who's got a really poor diet. You know, we're talking about a 5'9" dude with a 71-inch reach. Obviously, Israel Adesanya is much, much bigger than Kelvin Gastelum, and I think that made the difference in that fight. With Robert Whittaker, he's fighting a true middleweight. Yes, he fought at welterweight as well, but Robert Whittaker is a true middleweight. I feel like he's disciplined, tight, and the weight cut, the welterweight was just emaciating him and was ruining all his skills, and he was going past that point of diminishing returns to get to welterweight, so that's something to think about. The X factor for Robert Whittaker coming into this fight is going to be his championship experience. Those wars with Yoel Romero are going to pay attrition in this fight, and the fact that he has championship chops. He's proven championship chops. He's been there. He's the world champion, you know what I mean? Like, he knows what he's doing, and he fights Israel Adesanya, whose biggest X factor is going to be his precision striking. He's got pinpoint striking, really beautiful striking, and that figures to be utilised in this fight. Now, how do I see the fight going? How does the fight play out? Well, firstly, it's going to be a striking fight. Robert Whittaker, whilst he has the skills to take it down, is actually interesting bit of trivia. At one point, he was considering wrestling for the Australian Olympic wrestling team, so that's pretty crazy. But he is a good wrestler. He obviously gave Yoel Romero tons of trouble in securing the takedown, and Robert Whittaker is a very, very dangerous man all round. So his wrestling is going to be something to consider, but I don't think he's going to use it. That being said, Israel Adesanya is not going to go for a takedown, so this is going to be fought on the feet. Israel Adesanya is a precision striker, and I would say he's a little more polished than Robert Whittaker. Obviously, he's got world championship chops in the world of kickboxing. But if you want to say that size will make a difference, yes, it will make a difference. But Kelvin Gastelum was able to override that size early in that fight and give Israel Adesanya a lot of trouble. Who's a better striker than Kelvin Gastelum? Well, Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker is a much better striker than Kelvin Gastelum. Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and deny that fact that I picked Kelvin Gastelum to beat Israel Adesanya, but when I look at this fight, I see that Robert Whittaker has the tools to give Israel Adesanya trouble. Robert Whittaker is a proven fighter. He's proven in wars, and he's a very, very dangerous fighter when the fight wears on. I feel like this fight's going to be fought on the feet. Israel Adesanya will have success early with his jab, keeping Robert Whittaker at a distance. He's obviously not a knockout artist, in my opinion. Obviously, he's got a lot of knockouts, but he's not a one-shot hitter, kind of like Yoel is. And if Yoel wasn't able to put away Robert Whittaker, I don't think Israel Adesanya will be able to. You may be saying, well, Stephen Thompson did, but that was at welterweight, and that was once upon a time. So I don't think middleweight Robert Whittaker gets put away so easily. I don't think Israel Adesanya is the guy to do it. So as the fight wears on, what's going to happen? I feel like Robert Whittaker is going to start to close the distance, and he's going to start landing shots that count. Kelvin Gastelum was able to hurt Israel Adesanya. I definitely think Robert Whittaker can. He's a much more polished striker than Kelvin Gastelum. As the fight wears on and we get into rounds 3 and 4, I feel like Robert Whittaker's championship credentials are going to start to show, and he's going to start to land more and more damage as the fight's wearing on. Israel Adesanya, oh yes, he had a great 5th round against Kelvin Gastelum. I do not see that as being the case, and I don't think that's going to be repeated here. And I feel like after 5 rounds, we're going to be seeing Robert Whittaker getting his hands raised after edging out the striking specialist in a striking match. So fight fans, for my official prediction, I'm going to predict that Robert Whittaker is going to be able to survive early trouble and early awkwardness to be able to find his range and get comfortable in there. He's going to get into he's going to be able to get in close with Israel Adesanya. He's going to be able to start landing shots that count. And then we will be seeing a world championship defense by Robert Whittaker. So Robert Whittaker to get the victory. So fight fans, let me know how you guys have this fight going. Comment below, like the video, like I said, I'm sure you like it by now. Comment below, let me know how you see this fight going, and let me know what you thought about my breakdown. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. My name's Rohan, this is Mindful Combat. Thank you.